Okay, so doing this other Ask HershNoeie again. I don't know when this video will actually go up. I put one up just now, but my internet's down, so you're not going to see the intro as you normally do because I can't. I can put it on here, but it's not going to upload. So I'd rather have this uploaded and where it needs to be than to sit, because I have so many videos that sit and then they never make it to the light of day. So it's better for me to just have them uploaded on YouTube and then let them go. But anyhow, be sure to join the Discord down in the description box below and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Someone wrote me something and I have it pulled up here. I have another phone. I have Noe's phone, and they said, "Hey Hersh, I live." They mention where they live. They don't live here in the state of Washington. They live out east. I recently went into a store and I heard someone say, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Looking around, I'm like, "What's going on?" And initially, I thought that someone came in without a face mask because that's been in the news here lately. Then I actually saw someone from behind the counter looking directly at me as I was picking something up off of the shelf. I just wanted to take a look at something, but they were looking at me like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And so then I was kind of puzzled. They come over and say, "Unless you're going to buy, do not touch." It's pretty rude, but the problem is this type of store is the only type of store that is within walking distance. And now I'm kind of confused because I don't own a car. I use the bus to get around most places. And I thought this was such a great opportunity with this store being opened because now I can actually just walk to them. What are your thoughts? Should I keep shopping here or should I not? Well, I'm going to first say that what you choose to do is going to be up to you, right? I'm not going to be someone that advocates not going to a particular place, but I will say this: don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're celebrated. And there are businesses here that are kind of like that have a reputation that slowly happens, that people slowly pick up on. And there may be people that already know. It's not always the product or whatever, it's the attitude of the people that run it that people are just like, right? Turns people off. Here, people are very much, they love this. I can say this. People in this area, love Tacoma, right? For the most part. People love to support small businesses, right? I can definitely say that. Here in Tacoma, especially, the people of Tacoma are amazing, right? And often when we went to, because we're getting the house remodeled, I asked a group, on Facebook recommendations. And there were people that were reaching out. One person reached out, sent a message, and said, "Stay away from these particular companies because they've had issues with them." And literally, I got on the phone, talked with the lady for over an hour of her telling me exactly what happened and what she's going through and everything. It was the sweetest lady I have ever spoken to. But people here look out for one another. They may not necessarily drag you through on social media necessarily, unless it's really bad, but they will let other people know. I always just take a back when I see businesses, and there's some I've interacted with, they're just trash. The way that they come off. The stuff they have is great. Maybe some of the food that they have is nice, but they just come off as just trash. When you have ownership that is trashy or just rude, eventually that will come off to people. You know what I mean? Like, you can't fake it. You can't fake your attitude. Who you are comes out. That has happened before where businesses have went under. They spent a lot of money and all this other stuff, remodeling and making things look great, but they come off as just disgusting. I mean, that has happened recently where They're not here anymore, only because the community said we're not going to support businesses that really look down on in their view. And it's not so much the owner's view that matters, it is the customer's view that matters. Because at the end of the day, they're the one that's actually giving you money. It doesn't matter what your intention is, what your view is, or any of that. It's how you present yourself. And customers will believe in that. I've been in customer service for 20 something years. It's something that I know very, very, very well. And I don't care if you spent $80 million on something. If your attitude is disgusting, or if you're following people around in the store, or you come off as rude, eventually it's going to catch up to you. You may be in business for a couple of months, you may be in business for a couple of years or a few years, but your true potential of what you could have been is shot. So we always, with respect to what we do, we always try to treat our customers extremely well, whether they shop there or don't. We have many people that walk in and look around and then they leave. We treat them great, just like we do everybody that comes through the door and sits down and paint, or people that call. We treat them very respectfully. People that post stuff online, we treat them very respectfully because we appreciate everybody that even notices us, right? We're very appreciative of that. So if you don't treat people who are buying from you or people who are thinking about it in the right way, then those businesses are not going to do well. It's just the way that, or do what they could have done. There are a lot of businesses I have high hopes for, and then, it gets to the point of where you speak to someone and it's like, you ruined it for me. Because I had all this high hope and then nope. So I would say that I can't tell you exactly what to do other than what I just said when it comes to me. When it comes to me, I treat people the way I want them to treat me. And I think there's a way to be respectful to people and still tell them how you feel, right? There's a way to do that. When someone comes off as a jerk, then I'm pretty much done, right? And there are people that I know of that have done that, and I've seen it and witnessed it, and it's like, that's not what I would have done, but Sadate, you could choose to do how you want to do it. Do you, right? Do you. And now, my thing is that don't step on my toes and then later ask me for help. If I've tried to help you and you step on my toes, then don't ask me for help later. I still treat you nice. I'll still be cool. But I'm not going to ever spend $1 with you. I'm a penny pincher. But if I go to some place and I really like them, I have no problem with that. Right? And I think for you, you have to kind of evaluate, is it worth getting on the bus and traveling some miles? Maybe. Right? Maybe. But for me, there are places that I will only go to just because their customer service is bomb. I've said that before. I did a video recently that talked about that. There are places I'll go to because every single time their customer service is great. Right? This place I went to, their customer service was trash, and I've never been back. You know what I mean? They may not miss me, and that's cool. But it's just like, why would I want to go someplace where I'm not tolerated? Why would I want to give you money when you're not going to appreciate me? That's one thing that we always do. We always respect everybody, whether they come through or not. We're not better than anybody else. And this is coming from someone who grew up poor. Sometimes people get into a little bit of money or what have you, and they come off as arrogant and disgusting. And people don't really respect that. I don't respect that. I know people who are very, very well off and treat you with dignity and respect and very humble. That's what I like. And so I don't know what the circumstances in detail as far as the place that you went to and all of that, or if it's something that they only did with you and not with other people, if that's just how they are with everyone. But you're going to have to really wage whether or not convenience is the key, or if you would rather be someplace where you have a better experience. right? So I can't tell you really what to do other than that. I mean, I know what I would do. Again, I always believe this. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. I go to places where people always like, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, it's good to see you. That's what I like. You know, I like for people to be the way that I would treat them. And if they can't do that, then there's other fish in the sea. There's other places to go. There's other things to do than to just be with that. It may cause some inconvenience for you. Again, instead of being able to walk to a place, you have to get into some sort of a vehicle and go someplace else. But I would rather, and there was even a time back in my younger years where I had issues with my car and I couldn't use my car. So I was close enough to work to where technically I could walk there, but one of the guys that worked with me lived in the same neighborhood. He would drive over, pick me up, and drop me off there. This was whenever I was divorced, before I met Noelle. And I needed something, right? I needed something from a particular store. And the one store I literally could pretty much walk to, kind of. I mean, this is in Indianapolis, so that particular area that I was at, it's known for just highways and roads and all that. But you technically, once I've walked through and meandered through areas, I could get to that store no problem. I wouldn't have to rely on anyone. I know I could get what I needed and then come back home. However, someone had told me how they were treated once. I walked in on a conversation. Folks were sitting down and they were just talking, and they were like, yeah, went over such and such, and they were just rude, didn't want to answer any sort of questions, and this, that, and the other, and just was not nice at all. And someone would say, yeah, that's how they do over there. I don't shop over there because of this, that, and the other. I had somebody that was there that was great, and then they left, and then ever since then it's been this way. Or a lot of times you hear where ownership has changed and the new owners are not as nice as the old owners, right? But in this instance, it was the whole atmosphere. And then, so there was two people that said that. I was like, okay. And then there came someone who I truly trusted his judgment on things. I never had him lie about nothing. There was nothing ever controversial about him. He was always just such a cool, jovial guy. Like, why would you be mean to somebody like him? He's just such a cool person. Like, he makes friends everywhere he goes. He's just a cool person. And he said, yeah, I hate to say it, one time I went over there and it just wasn't the best experience, and this, that, and the other. That was enough for me. After hearing him say that, that was enough for me to basically say, I'll go someplace else. I didn't have to go in. It was enough for me. And this was before stuff being posted online and all this. But that was enough information for me to say, I'm not going to be a part of that. I instead had somebody that I was dating at the time. I said, do you mind going to such and such and picking this up for me? I'll give you the money when you come back. They were like, don't even worry about the money. They went and got it. Now, it was a little more expensive than there, because it just is, right? That place was a little more expensive, and I had to have someone kind of go out of their way to get it and bring it to me. But I would rather do that, because that particular place I've been to before, very nice. Always. You go in, it doesn't matter who's behind the counter. They're always super nice, always cool. And I had mentioned in that conversation, well, I used to go to such and such, and I was thinking about going there. And they're like, yeah, well, such and such is really, really good. We like them. Like, they're cool. And that was enough for me to be like, all right, I can dig that. I can definitely dig that. So word gets out there. And that's why we always try to put our best foot forward, because that's just who we are anyway. But it's kind of up to you. I would ask other people where you're at. I would ask them kind of how they feel. What do they do? What are their thoughts? That's what I would do. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to join the Discord down in the description box below. Hopefully I can get this internet issue figured out and solved. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.